Welcome to another episode of Dad Up, everyone. Thank you guys very much for joining me. The guests that I have on now, I've recently connected with. I'm an ambassador for their new company. I'm excited for them to share it, talk about it because it kind of circles around things that I love running, and I'm really pumped that they've welcomed me on board with the company, and I'm excited to hear about their journey and how they've kind of gotten started. They're also parents. And so I feel like I've known them for quite a while, even though we just met in the last month or so. But my good friends, Lokesh and Pooja, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bryan.
Thank you, Bryan.
Yeah, I will let you guys start however you guys want. Let's kind of dive into kind of your backstory because I know owning a shoe company is not where you guys started. I know Pooja, you kind of were in banking and Lokesh, from what I remember, what Pooja was telling me, you're in kind of the tech space area. So let's kind of dive into kind of that journey and how it led you to the shoe. I should have had my son bring me out the shoes. Uh, how it led me into the shoe business, or you led you guys into the shoe business, and then obviously I want to hear about your son as well.
Yes.
Sounds good. So, as you just mentioned, so both of us are into the corporate jobs. We started our journey in a typical American corporate jobs, right? And 15 years down the line, and now we both are avid runners. So there is a daily job, and then there it comes to our passion, right? Our passion towards fitness and running. And running is not the only thing. I mean, we both are into our other fitness journeys. As Lokesh mentioned earlier, he's into weightlifting and kickboxing. And on the other hand, I have my own karate journey going on. So we are into fitness and a lot of other fitness related activities. Um, as we were kind of getting into our running journey, we just realized that earlier I used to run in my regular shoes. And suddenly, as I am getting old, I feel like I need that additional cushion and a lot of things I require from my shoes, right? And that took us into the journey. Okay, how can we find a shoe which is meeting the needs of our body, right? And that's where we took a turn and start looking into some of the specialty running stores and see what do they have to offer.
Yeah. So it's about like the technological advancements, like the daily technological advancements which are coming into the world, right? As she mentioned, we are fitness enthusiasts. We have our own journey of running, of kickboxing, of taekwondo. They do Japanese jiu-jitsu too, right? And I do weightlifting, right? And I go to gym. I was like, okay, I will do some kind of weightlifting. So I need a, belt to, support my back. Okay. I need some gloves so that I don't have, these marks on my hands, right? So we also go to specialty running shoes. Okay, what's the new technology in the market? And a few years ago, there was Nike Alpha Fly. I was like, I love that shoe. Oh, what does it have? Carbon plate? Why does the shoe have a carbon plate? Shoe has to do with the carbon plate. And it's $400. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, $400. That's too expensive. Let me pass. Right. And then I was like, then there was another company, they were launching another shoe. Then there was another company launching shoe. I was like, so it's like and then I loved, there was one particular shoe I really loved, Nike Zoom Pegasus, right? And I used to wear Nike Zoom Pegasus. Every year they were like Nike Zoom Pegasus 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
Endless
24.
generations.
It's 41 now. So I was wondering, what are they injecting in the shoe that makes them 39, 40, 41,
Every 6 months.
every 6 months, every year, like iPhone, like Samsung, this is our best ever iPhone. This is our best camera. This is our best RAM. I was like, okay, do we really need those best ever things? Right. And they just, bump up the cost. Next year, they bump up the cost. Next year, they bump up the cost, right? So Nike Zoom Pegasus, it used to come for like $80 or so. Now it's like $140,
Right.
right? And what is the change? I don't understand the change. It may be more cushioned. I don't know, maybe the upper changed, maybe few grams, 10, 15 grams here and there, they cut it. And the top design, like the check boxes, like this side or that side, that's it, right? And there is no carbon plate as well. I was like, okay. And the carbon plate is an Alpha Fly. Well, Alpha Fly is $400 out of my
Right.
pocket, man.
Right.
But that's okay. I mean, we were still struggling, okay, what to buy, what not to buy. We two people, have kids, right? Middle income people. And then we're like, we cannot afford $400 shoe because a shoe breaks in 3 months. You run, you're running like today you ran 19 miles, 21 and a half miles. How many months will that shoe last?
Right.
2 months, 3 months tops, right? When you put so much mileage on it, it will not last that long, right? And then you have to change it every 3 months, $400 for me, $400 for her. $400 to me, $400. No, it's not. It's
you
not
get
viable.
into a cycle. Yeah.
You get into a cycle, and you love shoes. I have many shoes, right? So I'm a shoe enthusiast. I'm a runner. She's a shoe enthusiast. She's a runner. We want technology, but will that technology, is that technology
Sustainable, right?
that expensive? That expensive? No, it's not. So I'm from India. So we go to India like almost every year. So I have some friends who work in shoe industry there. So they were like, I was like, nowadays shoes are super expensive, man. So how are you guys sustained? Like, what are you guys doing about it? They were like, no, it's not that expensive. Like these big companies, they just market the shoes. Then the shoe cost is very less. I was like, what less? Like, what should be the manufacturing cost of this $400 shoe? $1? What? $1? Really? Yeah, because they are making millions of them. They are ordering millions of them every month. So when you order millions of them, the shoe cost is very less. I was like, really? So why they are selling this shoe so expensive? Because they are paying Jordan,
Right.
right? Right? And they are making billions of dollars, and they are putting so much into marketing, right? So for a runner, the shoe doesn't have to be that expensive, right? So I was like, okay, connect me to some people, connect me to some factories, let me ask them, like, how can we make a similar shoe like this? It doesn't have to be, so much looking,
Alien looking
shoe. Have you seen there is a new shoe by Puma? If you see it's like $400 shoe or $300 shoe, a new shoe from Puma, and it's super heavy. It has like 2 outsoles, one in the front, one in the back, and then there's
Really?
nothing in between. Oh, yeah.
I have not seen it. I'm gonna have to look it up.
And I was like, a shoe should be simply a shoe, lightweight, technologically advanced, looking like a good shoe, good colors. That's about it.
Yeah,
right?
you don't need that many features. Like in a cell phone, half of the features, half of the population doesn't even use. So
Right.
We don't even know how to use it.
yeah.
Right.
Now the cell phone is more expensive than a computer.
Right.
Right?
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People buy Apple 16 Pro. Yeah, 16 Pro is there in the market, right? And I don't see a difference between 13 Pro to 16 Pro. There is no difference.
For a common man, yes.
For a common man, yeah. Look-wise as well, there is no difference. Okay. So I contacted some factories in China. They were like, yeah, we can make a sample for you. I was like, okay. So they made some samples, and they said like samples would be very expensive. I was like, how much? $400. Oh, $400 is a shoe cost. You're giving us a new sample made, what we want according to us. So it's a custom-made shoe. So we asked some samples. Okay, we got some samples. I was like, let us try. So we tried ourselves. Okay. Some samples broke. We went back to the manufacturer. Oh, these samples broke. And they were like, yeah, they are handmade. I was like, no. if we want to get a sample, the samples should not break. We should test it. So they sent us, good samples, like good made, hand pasted, well made samples, and we were happy about it. Then we have a ex-Olympian living in our neighborhood. He's my friend, and we lived together in gym. So I was talking to him one day. I was like, "Hey, man, I have some shoes. Would you like to test them out? I can give you some shoes." And he has his own running academy, where he trains athletes, elite level athletes who goes to Olympics, world championships, right? He's a Jamaican guy. So we were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, man, give me some shoes. I'll get them tested."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay." I gave him several pairs. Several pairs were bummer. It's not like one go you'll get a perfect product. Some pairs were good. I mean, so I contacted like 7-8 manufacturers in China. I contacted manufacturers in India too. But the problem with India was the machinery was Chinese, the raw material was Chinese, the labor was Chinese trained, So I was like, everything first we need to import to India, then make it in India, right? So I could cut a step there. So I was like, okay, let's get. So two of the manufacturers in China, they made a good product. I was like, okay, yeah, you guys made a good product, right? Can you make these necessary tweaks and changes in these shoes? Some of them were highlighted by us. Some of them were highlighted by our friend, So then they made some tweaks, some changes. We were like, okay, design the upper like this, make these, place the logo right here, put Swift running on the back, place the wing on the side, okay, let's do this color, let's do this color. Then finally we got onto a conclusion. Yes, this is a good shoe. Okay, this is a shoe, send it to us. Then we tested that shoe.
Yeah. So
then we asked them, so how much will that cost us? Yeah, this will cost you X amount of dollars, right? I was like, but Nike shoe, you said it's like nothing, it's like pennies. Are you ordering a million shoes? No. It will not cost you as it costs to Nike, or as it costs to any other shoe company, right?
Yeah.
So it will cost you X amount. Okay. So you're like, okay, so this solves our problem, right? We can sell it for $100 to a common man, right? A technological advanced shoe with the carbon plate. So we have carbon plate and hybrid carbon plate. Both have different features. She can talk about that, right? So we were like, okay, for $100, $115, $125, whatever dollars, we can bring that shoe to the market. It's accessible to the customers. I can afford $100 shoe every 3 months happily. I'm very happy. I don't have to, throw the money there. If I have to run marathon, I will buy a pair of shoe, $300 or $400 for that day. I will not train in them. I will just train in, regular shoes. And then on the D day or on the race day, we will, put those expensive shoes and we start running. And then we realize, oh no, this is not good. We should have trained in those shoes, but we are afraid to break $300 or $400 shoe, right?
On everyday use.
Everyday use. So now we can train in our race day shoe, right? For $100, if I'm buying $100 shoe, I can train in them, I can race in them. Who is stopping me? So that's the intent behind this. That's the story behind it, that we can bring a good product to people. It's accessible, it's not expensive, and it's as good as most of the expensive shoes present in the market. That's the story behind it. I mean, I'm working with several manufacturers in China. People are contacting me that, yes, you get this sample, I can make a sample for you, I can make a sample for this.
I mean, it's a journey. It takes time. It took us almost 2 years to get through all those development and prototyping,
Testing, yeah.
testing. So yeah, I mean, we are still in very preliminary stages of our launch, and a lot have to learn, a lot have to come, and we are tracking our customer behaviors, right? We are seeing what is in the market, what people really want, what price line works for a common runner, right? Of all level, from a runner who is just starting to put 1 or 2 miles to someone like you, right? Putting 20, 25 miles a day. So it just, we are trying to address the pain point of all different levels of runners.
Yeah. Well, I have before I was introduced to you guys, I had I'm one of those I'm a Saucony and Asics guy. Those are my two go-tos, and I think I bought Nova Blast 4s last October, September, October, and between September, October, and January, I had essentially blown through them. I mean,
Yeah,
they were just worn. So
yeah.
I went January, uh, actually right on my birthday, which is December 30th. I started in January. I got the new Nova Blast 5s came out. And it's
Yeah.
like the difference between the two, I don't know, like a little bit. Maybe there's a smidge difference. Maybe they made it uh 0.01 gram lighter, than like, so I don't know what the damn difference is. All I know is it's the newest shoe for Asics for the
Yes,
Nova
yeah.
Blast,
Yes.
and I liked the 4s, so I went ahead and got the 5s. And then I also have I have Saucony, they're my speed shoe. They're a hybrid carbon plated shoe, and I've used them maybe about 50 to 75 miles on them, but I'm not a big fan of them. I'm just not a big fan of them. So I kind of steer towards my Nova Blast even for my speed work. What you guys sent me the shoes that I have now, and I loved them. And I was telling Pooja that I loved them, and my son I run a lot of marathons during the year, and one of the marathons I have coming up is the Mesa Marathon in Arizona, and that's in 3 weeks. But my son back in December told me that he wanted to run the 10K, and he's never ran a 10K before, but he was really considering it, and I said, well, you don't just think about it. If you want to do it, you just have to pull the trigger on sign up because then you're
Yeah,
locked
yeah.
in. Then that'll force you to
Mm-hmm.
train. So if
Mm-hmm.
you want to do
Mm-hmm.
it, if you're really serious, I will pay for your 10K, right? But you're
Mm-hmm.
locked in. Now you've got to do it. So now you've got to train. So he
Yeah,
started training. And then when I started working with your shoes, I told him, he's like, Dad, I really need new shoes. He was wearing Nikes and they were a joke. I said, let me see your shoes. And he showed me and I go, oh, those are not running shoes, dude. You should not be
yeah,
running in
yeah,
those. I said,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, why don't you try these ones, the Swift runnings? I said, why don't you
Mm-hmm.
try these ones and tell me what you think? And if you like them, then I'll get you a pair. And he's like, all right. So he tried them and he comes back from his very first run. This is no joke. Comes back from his very first run. I think he went a couple miles. He comes back and he goes, hey, Dad, um, I don't think I'm going to give you back these shoes. And I
It's
go,
the
what?
feedback. Yeah,
I said, dude, they're my shoes. And he's like, I know, but you already have your other shoes, and I don't have a pair of shoes, and these are really comfortable, and I really like them. So, yeah, I think I'm going to use them. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, Pooja, I need another pair of shoes. So
SOS.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a testament to your guys' shoes. I mean, here we are, my son and I, essentially about to throw down over your shoes because we like them so much. We're playing tug of war with them. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you, because I know that you guys are really focused on trying to hit all facets of running, speed work, you know, uh, your training shoes, your long shoes, your long long distance shoes. For my purposes, what's the best shoe that you guys have for those? Like I did 21 and a half miles today for those long runs, for those marathon runs. what's the best shoe you guys have, or are you guys still in the process of really making a good shoe for long distance?
We do have a good shoe for long distances. We haven't got it in stock yet, and it's called Equus. It
Okay.
has a real carbon plate, and it has a CPU outsole. The CPU outsole, in a layman terms, I will say it's not rubber. It's a composite material out of which the car tires are made of. Okay, so it's really lightweight. It has a real carbon plate which sits on the arch to give you support,
Mhm.
right? I have this.
This is,
It's
yeah, one of the woman Equus.
it's one of the woman Equus.
Okay.
So this is the outsole. Look at the outsole. It's very plain. It's not like rubber, which will fade out easily. So it has a very long life, right? It has a similar eTPU midsole, but more responsive than what you have, Horus. It has a real carbon plate inside, not a hybrid one, right? And this shoe in particular,
It's a woman size 8 right
it's the
now.
woman size 8. It's less than 200 grams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when somebody hold it, they will be like, what?
What?
Like it's nothing, right?
It's nothing.
So the way how I would recommend mostly for the long distances, it just depends, Brian. Like some people are comfortable in training in pure carbon plate or
Mhm.
carbon fiber plate on day one. Some people prefer for their trainers as more in the hybrid way, right?
Mhm.
So if you want to choose the hybrid carbon plate, in your shoe, then Apus. Apus is another model which is great for long distance marathon running, especially because of its, again, another ultra lightweight shoe. And the mesh is very breathable, like very lightweight, breathable mesh. Because when you do long distance, a common problem is sweating within your foot. Right. So that is the reason why that mesh is so important when you're putting more mileage on your shoe. And it has, again, the same eTPU to give you additional boost and the flexibility. But that hybrid carbon plate is important because that will give you more flexibility on your runs. And also it helps you keep your natural movement of your foot when you are
Okay.
taking long strides.
Right.
So if you are training, Apus will be a great option. But if you're picking up a pure carbon fiber one, then Equus would be our next.
So I was advocating Equus because when you are doing 20 miles every day, the rubber outsole will wear off, pretty quickly,
Right.
right? But the CPU outsole will not,
Yeah.
right? It goes long distances,
Right.
right? You can put 500 miles on it or 800 miles on it, without wearing it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
When will you
Yeah.
have those in stock?
February first week or second week, that's where
Yeah.
we are, like around before Valentine Day is when we are planning to have, and we have really good colors. So I feel like Valentine should be a great time for us to launch Equus.
Yeah.
All right.
A
Well,
lot
you
of my
guys,
friends are waiting.
you guys will
for
have to
our
let me know.
Equus.
Yeah, you have to let me know when they come out for the men. So
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. Yeah. So that's why a lot of people are just having different way how it's just when it comes to your own foot, everybody has their own preferences.
right.
Right. So Apus has been one of the very popular shoe as well for long distance. But then Equus is something which, because of its more technologically advanced shoe, we prefer Equus.
Right. All right. Cool. Now, how about your family? You have one son?
We have a kid, 10-year-old. Yes.
Yeah. And what has been the message to him? Has he been involved? Has he contributed? Have you tried to teach him? Is he annoyed? Will you train
Sometimes
these? Will you try these out, son? Will you videotape us, son? Will you,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
He's been videotaping
Yeah.
her a lot of
Yeah.
times. Sometimes they're like, mommy is always,
busy.
busy.
It's just being an entrepreneur, and I always tell this to everyone. it's not a 1 day 9 to 5 job.
Right.
I have 2 kids now. I have a 10-year-old, and then I have Swift running, which is my second child, right? So, and also I should count my third too. I have a 4-year-old Labrador. So it's just like when your business is your baby, you see it growing in that way, right? You put more effort at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, like a job. I cannot stop working. I have to. I have my early mornings. I have late nights, right? Working towards it. So yeah, that just brings the whole parental dynamic into picture. That yes, how will you work-life balance at home to make sure that you are spending enough time with your kid as well. But
How are
very
you doing
interesting
that?
story.
How are you
Yeah, I
doing
mean
that?
that's what I'm telling you. Like it's the balance, because I try to involve him into part of my journey, right? When I'm running outside and when I'm trying new models, I always have him. "Well, how do you like them, right? Can you take my pictures?" Because now he's part of that journey. He's not sitting outside. And very interestingly, a couple of days ago, I asked him, "Okay, Anne, like fifth grade is about to end, and what's your plan, right? What do you think you're gonna do after school and after college?" He was like, "I'm not gonna look for a job. I'm gonna run Swift running." So you know what I mean? Like he's already there, and that's why our efforts are so meaningful to him, right? He's seeing us building a brand and being part of it.
And his trust in us that we will build Swift running to an extent that he can take it forward gives us more enthusiasm that yes, we have to make it successful.
Mm.
So that's the kind of message which he gives to us, and we also support him. That's yes, why not? You will take Swift running forward. So that's why we are, whenever some order comes, okay, Ane, can you bring the box? Can you help us packaging it? Help us in packaging. So he helps us in packaging. Okay, put the tape here. Okay, stack up the boxes there. Okay, now daddy's going to put them in the car. Help daddy putting them in the car. So we involve him. We have also given him a lot of samples. Okay, wear them, put them on.
Yeah.
Put them on, break them. So he is the best, tester for us.
Yeah, he can test durability of any
Durability of
show.
any shoe.
Yeah,
And he's going
yeah.
to be honest.
Yes. I know how it works.
He can break anything. Right? So we have given him several shoes. Okay, do whatever you want to do with them.
Yeah,
So yeah, he tested Horus. I mean,
yeah. He's
the shoe
wearing,
which we
which
gave
your
you.
son is wearing.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
gave him, and the initial shoe he just made a mess out of him, and then we realized, oh no, we need to make it more durable.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we went to the Chinese people that yes, hey man, this shoe is not sustainable. So he was like, what did you do with the shoe? We tested him. We tested the shoe. So
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, to your point, like work-life balance, I just learned one thing. There is nothing called balance. It's more about integration, right?
Mhm.
So now we have integrated Swift running as a part of our life. And now all three of us is building that brand. We are trying to create that story which resonates with everyone so that people will know we are just not another shoe store brand, right? We are bigger than that. We have a purpose why we brought these shoes into market.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is your son part owner?
So
Yeah.
our parent company is AG Goods and Services, and AG stands for Ane Gupta.
All right. All right. All right.
He's very satisfied with that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. I think it's neat. You guys have a good product. I think what I hope for you guys is that you're eventually able to get yourself into the marketplace where you're in your local running stores, out here. I'm not sure about out there, but out here we have places like a Snail's Pace, which is a running store. Actually, I think there's one in Covina, and there's another one down here that I go to. I'm actually a member of is Roadrunner Sports. So stores like that that are specific to, shoes, and running equipment and gear and accessories and all that, I think is would be great. Would be great for you guys to be able to do that.
I mean, as a new brand, we rely a lot on our brand ambassadors, just like you, right? So,
Mhm.
um, we have only two voices, right? There is a level where we can take our voice, but we want all our ambassadors to be our voices too, because
Mhm.
you guys are all different part of United States,
Mhm.
right? And as you said, you are the member of Roadrunner Sports. That is one of the great chain in whole United States. Their shoe stores are everywhere, right? So once they will see that somebody is voicing it out, giving a great feedback about our shoe,
Yeah, not just
right?
one,
Yeah. So
few.
that's
I
how,
mean,
yeah,
few.
exactly.
Even if so, even if we have like 50 to 100 people,
Mhm.
shouting for our shoe, rooting for our shoe. Yes, hey, Swift running shoe is amazing.
Yeah.
People are watching. These specialty running shoes, they are watching. Every new brand, because they want to up their profit. They want to give a good product to the people as well, right?
Mhm.
And new brands do give them a good cut or good profit, right? So they are also looking, but they need some level of
I think it's a matter of credibility and
credibility.
trust,
Yeah.
right? It takes time. If I'm saying that my shoe is great, how many people gonna trust only my voice? Because again, Swift Running is my brand. I always gonna say that it's a great shoe. But when you are saying that and you are telling that your son loved it, that's what people see, right?
Mhm.
That's what it matters to other runners. They'll see that, oh, okay, our fellow runner is enjoying this shoe. It's a reasonable price point which they can afford as well. Okay, let's try that, right? So that's how it takes time to create that brand awareness for any new brand, and
Mhm.
and that's where we seek the voices of all our ambassadors around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will continue to push this shoe as long as I can, and as long as you guys will allow me to, because I think you guys have a really cool product. And listen, you had talked about it earlier, Lokesh, that you don't need to go out and spend $400 on Nike carbon fiber shoes that Vaporfly or whatever they're called.
Yeah,
They're,
yeah.
they're $400. I've seen those shoes for the last 6 months, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not spending $400 on shoes. I
Yeah.
mean, the Nova Blast, cost me 160, which is still, reasonable, but still expensive. But
Still expensive. Yes.
I'm not spending $400 on carbon fiber shoes. Yeah, I'll just deal with what I can get, at half that price. So for a shoe that you can get that is of the quality that it is, the work ethic that you guys have had in putting in that time and that effort to build that quality of that shoe, and make it everything that everybody's looking for in a shoe, and do it at a price that's $100 is insane. I mean, that's just insane. And shoe companies are going to start to go, hey, wait a minute. What is Swift Running doing here? They're ruining our brand because they're
We are making people happy.
right.
Yeah, and I think
You,
that's the messaging, right? Like we are not here to build profits here. We are here to make sure that our product resonates with the runners, right?
right.
Runners or the people even who are just starting their journey.
See, we are not a very rich people. We are not out of any, rich conglomerate that, okay, here
Yeah.
go, $10 million, $50 million, let's start a business. It's not like that.
Yeah.
We are IT people,
Yeah.
we are immigrants to this country.
Yeah.
We made money here. Whatever we are earning, out of our savings, we started this company.
Yeah. It's a bootstrap
It's a
business, as I
bootstrap
told you.
business. So whatever we have made so far, we just poured everything into it. That yes, let's start something. Let's do something for us, something for society.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a bootstrap business. It's our life savings, and it's like a kid for us. So we are working, as hard as we can to make it, impressive and make it successful.
No, you guys will do that. I want to ask you one question. Where do you guys see yourselves a year from now with Swift running?
I have an answer, but I'm
Go ahead.
so in a year, I would like to have my show in most of the specialty running shoe stores. Like I want people to touch, feel, try my shoe. Again, it's a journey. It takes time, and I'm putting a year timeline on myself and our own brands to be there at that point. Right?
We just don't want to remain as an e-commerce brand.
Exactly.
Mhm. Right,
We
Right.
want to be in the brick and mortar as well.
right,
Yeah,
right.
That's
Yeah.
our intent.
exactly.
We are not looking for, we will make million, we will become
Yeah.
profitable, we will become this, we will become that. No, no, no. We just have a dream that yes, we change our status from
Mhm.
e-commerce brand to brick and mortar as well.
I would say that our product needs to be accessible, right? A lot of time runners, it's hard for them to make only decision just looking at the product on screen. So they should be able to kind of, again, going back to touch, feel, try, do the demo run, right? So that's why this partnership with brick and mortar stores is very important for us.
Yeah. Um, so Shark Tank, if you're listening, let's get these guys on your show. That will help you get into some brick and mortar for sure. Well, if there's
That would be
any,
awesome.
yeah, if there's anything on my end I can do, I would love to help. If you guys have any ideas, I would love to help to help kind of steer that direction. But I am rooting for you guys big time. I love the shoe. Going to continue to wear it and promote it as much as I can. It's something that I think is needed, and if it's a shoe that's providing the quality that a runner needs, stability that a runner needs, it's not hurting, your feet, your ankles, anything like that. It has some durability to it, lasts a little bit longer than most other shoes, and it's like half the price or even more than that, then I'm in. So I think most runners would be in for that because
Bonus
listen,
things to consider, right?
right? I was just reading something to my wife last night. It was a meme on social media. I was cracking up. It's like it was saying something like, yeah, I think running's one of the cheapest sports you can do. You only need a pair of shoes, and then you need the outfit, and then you need the Garmin watch, and then you need the heart rate monitor, and then you need the supplements, and then you need to sign up for a race, and then it's like all these different costs start to add up. So yeah, when you do that, you need a shoe that's gonna at least ease up on the
Anyway,
pocketbook a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, especially like if you are training for marathons or long distance runnings and stuff, like it's the whole budget end up being in thousands,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Like
oh yeah.
considering everything. And I have I'm a RRCA coach myself, and I have a lot of friends, other coaches, and it's a common thing what I'm hearing because when they get a new a trainee, right? It's very important on day one to give them that budget that okay, make sure if this is your end goal after a year, you should have this much budget to spend because that's
Mhm.
what it requires because running is not cheap anymore.
No, no.
So I think that's where this whole concept comes into picture. Being a runner should not be that hard, right? It
Yeah.
should not be a financial burden to yourself. So how can we bring that down? So today we have shoes, we have water bottles to stay hydrated, but eventually our long-term goal is to bring more like running apparels there, right? Like other running gears in on our Swift run under our Swift running brand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have a whole umbrella of gear, running gear, which will be accessible to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wearing your socks today as well on my run, so the socks are very comfortable. But yeah, I mean, I have just for myself this year. I was looking at my races. Just through the end of July, I have Mesa Marathon, a half marathon in March, another half marathon in March, a half marathon in April, Salt Lake City Marathon in April, half marathon in May, a Spartan race in May, and then the San Francisco Ultra Marathon at the end of
Wow.
July, which is 2 marathons back to back.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
so, yeah, I mean, you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races between now and the end of July,
Yeah.
and that includes 4 marathons. So
Mhm.
you add the price of that up. I mean, I'm going to Arizona, so that's a cost
Mhm.
because you got hotel
Mhm.
and we're flying out
Mhm.
Yeah.
there. I'm going
Mhm.
to Salt Lake City, so we got a hotel and flying out there. I'm going to San Francisco, so hotel and flying out there. So add that up on top of my running shoes, on top of my vest that I need with my water bladders in them, my supplements. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
it's
I,
Yeah.
I
it's a lot.
I hear you. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so, anyways, well, that's cool. I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really rooting for you guys. I'm a massive fan. So, I
Thanks
appreciate,
for the support, Brian.
yeah,
Thanks for the support.
absolutely. I appreciate you guys sharing your journey, talking about your son being involved and all that. That's so cool. Hopefully, he'll be able to one day take over the company and make you guys proud so you guys can sit back and relax and enjoy your running shoes on your own without having to do all the work anymore. But
Yeah.
thank you guys very much for being on. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to staying in touch. And if you guys are ever out in California, please hit me up so we can have a meal together and celebrate and do all that. But you guys are
Will
awesome.
do for sure. Whenever
Yeah.
you're in DC area, let us know.
I will. I will. Listen, guys, it's been another great episode of Dad Up Podcast. I want to thank my good friends Lokesh and Pooja for being on the show. They are the owners, creators, parents of Swift Running, and it's a remarkable company and it's up and coming, but they've been around for a little bit. And if you haven't checked out their shoes, you can do that on their website. You can check them out on their Instagram channel. All that stuff will be in the show notes below, so you can click those links and check it out. And I highly recommend the shoes. I don't typically promote stuff like this on my show, but this is one thing that I've really tried and really enjoyed and really love. And so if you need some recommendations, I can recommend you as well. That hey, the shoes work. We love them. My son loves them. So they're a great product. So if you're a runner, if you're a walker, if you're looking into getting into running, if you're not sure about what shoe to go with, you can certainly reach out to me. You can certainly reach out to them, and we can make some recommendations for you. But Swift Running is a remarkable shoe, and I definitely recommend it. And if you are not yet subscribed to my show, please make sure you do that so you don't miss any of the awesome guests that I have on each and every week. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all on the next episode of Data. Wow, another amazing episode in the books. So much was shared, and I'm truly grateful my guest was able to pour into you to help you elevate your dad game and really dad up. Make sure you bang that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode. And while you're here, please don't forget to leave me a rating and a review. I always appreciate the feedback. And one last thing, don't forget, your role as a dad is one of the most important roles you have. So if you need a little help or have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on my website at daduptribe.com or at my Instagram page at Dad Up Podcast. Until next time, everyone, Dad Up.